which is the expression of who in the regions has been working. The next, please. And the first things that we have to work along was to changing the perception of the role of pharmacists among themselves. And this has been very important for us because there was an important sector of our profession that did not fully know what was the goal, what should be our commitment. And we have used a survey from the starting point in order to create the atmosphere that something had to be done and something had to be happened. And the first and very basic question was, is it required by the legislation, the daily presence of pharmacists in our pharmacy? The right answer was no, it is not required. But even there was a certain portion of our professional that did not know that it was not legally required our presence. But among non-pharmacists, the perception was completely different. They believed, only 80%, that it was required, so other professions, mainly physicians, believed that we should be in the pharmacy. Changes the perception of the role of pharmacy among themselves. We have been working about established national professional standards, and this has been established in the year 2006, and 4 of them: good practice, expensive practice, self-medication, rational use of drugs, and a code of ethics. They are available through the internet, and we have a Spanish and English version as well, where you can find the 4 of them. In order to improve quality of pharmacy practice, 2 years ago, a very important activity for us was organized called The Patient in the Focus, which was supported through FIP. And the objective was to train the trainers and to repeat a similar activity afterwards with our colleagues. And it was in that opportunity the first time that we arrived to the systemic approach in the pharmacy practice, a pharmacy practice change that was developed by Ross Hollands and Christine Nemo in this year, and this is the publication. The next one, please. This course was required, and the objective was to stimulate a conscious practice change. As teachers, you must pave the way to your final objectives. Your colleagues are also people who will react to change like any other people do. And one of the main objectives was to help everyone understand what was going on and what is still going on. So, please go on. This was the challenge, to change the model in pharmacy practice into fully medicines and logistical, the traditional model, into the pharmaceutical care model. So the change was dispense the right product with important facts about medicine's mind, to dispense it to the right product with patient characteristics and some medicine facts in mind. Next one. Then, altogether, we have all this work has been carried out about 3 important task force, as has been the educational aspect task force, the professional aspects task force, and the legislative aspects task force. 2 of them has gathered to carry out a second course, which was called How to Implement the Change. This activity was carried out all along the country with these contents GPP philosophy, pharmaceutical care, patient communication, pharmacotherapy, drugs interaction and adverse reactions, requirements, facility and staff qualifications, and how to implement the change. And teachers came from the National Association as well as from the university. We have two different kinds of activity. One that was carried out only for pharmacists, and a second one that was planned for pharmacy assistants and pharmacy owners as well. In order to improve the quality of pharmacy practice, this year it has been very important in order to pharmacovigilance activity, because last year it was created the National Systems of Pharmacovigilance by the Ministry of Health, and community and hospital pharmacy has been established as part of this system. So several training activities and the participation of community pharmacy has been done through the National Technical Group, has been taking place during this year. This is in Spanish, but it means National System of Pharmacovigilance, and how it is implemented. This is WHO, World Health Organization, and how we report and hear pharmacists as well as the nurses, together with physicians, the doctors, we are established as part of the systems. Okay. Next, please. In order to document the pharmacy value toward the society and toward the patients, a pharmaceutical care on hypertension, which was a multicentric study, it took place in these 2 years. Next, please. And we learned a lot of lessons, but mainly the lessons that we learned were problems. We have a lot of problems, a lot of obstacles, which could be classified into structural elements, process elements, practice, and cultural elements. There was no confidence within the society and from the physician sectors that pharmacy could be a place where they could trust in to follow their patients. And so within this project, even we were very proud that we could do some work within this framework. We were quite disappointed, but with the results. But we learned a lot of things. We learned that if GPP content was not well established within the society, this kind of project cannot be fully developed. Next, please. So, after 2 years of carrying out GPP activity, we decided to repeat the experience, but in a national study, which has just started this month during November. We have trained an important number of pharmacies to participate of this, but the most important thing is that we arrived to an agreement with both federations that gather physicians, one which is placed in the capitals and one that is placed in the rest of the country, that they recognize, and we are going to work in collaboration with physicians in this pharmaceutical care hypertension. So Alliance strategy, Alliance has been